Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. I'm trying to think of stuff to talk about besides my life, which I did pretty much all summer, and it feels kind of selfish. I know that when I talk about things, they often come with opinions that are generalized and hopefully relate to you guys, but excuse me. But I'm trying to get into back into the news a little bit, so big thing in the news that happened. Well, let's start with I almost called him Jeff Bezos. It's Elon Musk. Now, I don't know how good Tesla is for the environment. I really haven't kept track of it. I assume it's that those cars are good for the environment, and so I'm for that, and I'm all for Musk making money, and a lot of money is fine with me. But now he is deciding to not only go to space, but also now to put advertising in space, and I find this terribly wasteful. Um, like I've mentioned before, to put a rocket ship into outer space takes a tremendous amount of fuel, a tremendous amount of resources just to build the rocket. I guess it provides jobs, but I don't know. I think those jobs could be better used on creating a new infrastructure, which leads me to the next thing that happened today. The Senate in the United States passed a 1.2 trillion. I never thought in my lifetime I'd be using the word trillion in real, and it almost sounds like a bazillion, gajillion dollars, like you said when you were a kid. I never really thought I'd be using the word trillion to describe wealth at all. So, 1.2 trillion. I was looking on all over the internet for really solid details about the bill, and I can't find a lot. Like they've obviously have sold this on infrastructure, all kinds of infrastructure, freight and passenger rail lines, broadband, forest management, um, water, replacing lead pipes. But that even the things that I'm mentioning right now only covered like 550 billion of it, so that's not even half of it. It's like, what is the rest of this? And then once again, it devolves into Republicans saying it's a big waste of money and will lead us down the path to socialism, and Democrats defending it as creating jobs. And I see both sides actually on it. I mean, but I just don't like the rhetoric, and I'm kind of tired of it. And maybe a big reason a lot of us don't follow the news or politics because it's just become. I mean, honestly, I'm thinking it's about close to the Reagan, Bush, maybe Clinton years, but this entire millennium so far, really both sides have pretty much dug in against each other, and it's a reason why we haven't maybe flourished as a society, or at least as an economy. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to watch the fighting. I mean, some of the congressmen on the Republican side just said, "Oh, here we go, just on our way to socialism." Now, I don't know if a lot of these dollars that'll be spent in this 1.2 trillion dollar infrastructure bill will be clean. I know like 7.5 billion of it was to have a, how do I want to put it? Basically, make plug-in stations available for electric cars. That's a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of what this bill's about. So I found it interesting, and I'm hoping that more of it is green-based. I know we're talking about new Green Deal. I don't know if any of that was put in this bill. And then, so that's a lot of money, obviously. And then, of course, the questions are, how are we going to pay for it? Well, it looks like almost $1 trillion of it is paid, and 250 billion of it will go to the national deficit. This is where I have no idea what. Once again, the lights seem to be cued to certain things I say. I say the word deficit, and it gets dark. I find that kind of funny. So I don't know the difference between the debt and the deficit. I think they said it went to the national debt, but either way, do these numbers even matter anymore? I think what matters is we just try to have equal footing with foreign countries, have equal trade. Um, I don't know. I mean, I heard at one point we owed China 3 trillion. Maybe it's even worse right now. I mean, I've often said that we are like, we are the pathetic crack whore to China's drug dealer. I mean, just because of all the products we think we need, and we're not willing to support unions or pay more money for good old Americans to make them here. So it's really on us. You know, you can blame the drug dealers, and they are part of the problem when it comes to it. But you also got to blame the person who's smoking the crack, don't you? Do you not? So if you get upset that we're in a huge deficit to China, maybe stop buying those products. But I know I've mentioned that before. I also got into looking at the so-called Bernie bill, which was interesting. Bernie Sanders, of course, he is a socialist, and he admits it. I don't even know if it's really something. I get tired of being on the defensive for my socialist leanings. Like, I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a pedophile. I don't have to admit to supporting a system that I think is better. And I may be wrong about that. I mean, capitalism has some benefits, but it also has some deficits. You know, so is socialism, so is communism, so does any other ism or any other system. But Bernie is looking to make all college free, and he talked about that back in the campaign and when he was running for president in 2016. He's adopting a bill again. I can't imagine we'll even come close to passing. But it really does make you wonder how much does this country care about education, learning, and knowledge when you're willing to let entities like the NCAA, private and public universities, make fistfuls of cash. That's, in my opinion, not what they're there for. But having said that, we know that the educated man, woman, human is a threat to the systems that are in place. The more that we know and the more upset we get, the more chance there is of a revolution that would overthrow some of the systems we have in place. Which also brings me to another bill that Bernie Sanders has proposed. This is to garner, I believe, $3.5 trillion, and it would pay for a lot of stuff. I mean, heck, we'd have $2 trillion left over, $2.3 trillion left over if this bill passed. But there's no way this one will pass either. And I get it, and trust me. I mean, but what he wants is estate taxes to go up. Now, estate taxes, I believe, are around 40%. But if the Bernie bill passed, estate taxes would go even higher. I believe if you have 10 million or more, if the estate is worth 10 million or more, it goes up to 50%. If it's 100 or million or more, it goes up to 55%. If it's $1 billion or more, it's 65%. Now, as a poor, regular, average guy, I say, why not? But I understand if you're rich and you're going to inherit $1 billion, and all of a sudden you're only inheriting $350 million, well, you might be upset. But I also, because those people think different. I've talked about that before too. They can relate to me. They don't even go. They probably don't even know what a grocery store is, right? They've never set foot in one. They have people to get their food. Oh, the food's on the table. Great, I'll eat it. That's how their lives work. When you're a billionaire, that's how your life works. You don't go cook. You don't go to McDonald's. It's a completely different ballgame. Whoa. I said McDonald's and the Golden Arches came on. I don't know why this light is squirrely. Sometimes it makes me crazy. But, so I get it. If you're that rich, you don't want to lose that type of money. I completely understand. But like I said, what I was saying is they can relate to me about as well as I can relate to maybe an Amazon tribesman, right? In the middle of the Amazon shooting whatever he kills for his food, a little deer or something, with his poison dart that he rubbed off the back of a frog. That's about as well as I can relate to that guy. I mean, could you imagine then that guy be like, what's a store? Has the food already made? What? I gotta put a blow dart in a deer and then skin it and cook it and eat it. I have no idea what you're talking about. So I understand when you're that rich that what your goal is to hold on to that money. But I wish they would understand the fall is so far for them. Like I said, you got $1 billion estate. You still have $350 million. That's a lot. If I had 1/100th of that, I'd be thrilled. If I had $3.5 million, I'd be on top of the world, man. And I'm pretty happy with what I got. So, I guess at heart I'm a socialist, and I'm for sharing wealth. And I understand if you're not, I get it. But I know those bills won't pass. But it was interesting just to look at one bill that passed and others that were in the writing stages, and of course Elon Musk, so, who has more money than anyone on the planet. He and Bezos competing for that $200 billion mark. Okay, thanks guys, just a little something different, and see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.